Okay, so in this week we're going to be discussing habits and all of its powers. Now, this is probably the single most important course I will ever put out because I can teach you Forex in a way that's going to make you successful. But if you do not have the habits and control over your life, then nothing works, right? So the reason why I call this the single most effective course that I'm ever going to put out there is because this can be applicable to any walks of life. And without these certain criterias, whether you're trying to be a trader or you're trying to be a pilot or anything, it just won't work. Okay? And you might just, after going through this course, you might just find out what's the thing that's holding you back. How do I develop certain things? Okay? So let's get into this a little bit. Now, I want to discuss first thing is habits, right? Habits have a lot of power. Okay? Habits can be good habits. Habits can be bad habits. The fact that habits are there determines how you run your life. Okay? You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, that's a habit. You brush your teeth before you go to bed, that's a habit. When you're driving and you drink coffee while driving, that's an habit. If there's a certain way you comb your hair every single day, that's a habit. Now, if you notice all these things I've just listed, driving to coffee to brushing your teeth to combing your hair, every habit initially starts with what's called discipline. Now, discipline is this negative word we all hate, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's bringing up discipline. Like, what's wrong with this guy? No, but discipline is something we all look down upon. Like, such a horrible thing. We have so much to do. And what happens in most people's lives is, oh man, I wish I had more discipline when they're working on certain things or certain aspects on their life. And they're like, if I just had a little bit more discipline, I would have, finished what I had to do. If I just had a little bit more discipline, I would have gone to the gym. If I just had more discipline, I would have sat down and knuckled down on that Forex trading course. If I just had more discipline, I could have done X, Y, and Z more in my life. Now, discipline doesn't just show up, okay? Discipline cannot show up. There's more to it. So let's go into a lot of the details of how this stuff works. Now, habits develop by initially starting discipline, as we discussed, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, driving your car while drinking coffee and all that stuff. When you first started to do these things, when you first started to brush your teeth as a kid, did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it easy? Did you do it without focusing on it? Okay? And everyone's answer is going to be no. Okay? It's going to be no. Because everything that you initially do requires all attention, all hands on deck kind of thing, right? Every cell of your body is like, okay, I got to do this because I don't know how to do this. That's why it's called discipline. But once you do it again and again and again, it suddenly becomes what's referred to as a habit. Because now your body is like, oh, I know how that works. I can do it. I can do it while you even sleep, while you even drive, while you're even thinking about something else. When you brush your teeth, you're probably not even paying attention to brushing your teeth, and you're like, what should I wear today? What am I gonna do at work? What 10,000 things are running through your head, but you're not focusing on how to brush your teeth or hold the toothbrush anymore as you used to. Okay? Difference between discipline and habit. So, what I'm trying to train you about habit is all habit, even bad habits, start with discipline. If you know someone who's very a negative person in their life, it comes with discipline. They've gone through that phase of nurturing themselves to be very negative year after year, day after day, month after month. Or it's like second nature for them. But the same is true for positive habits. You'll see people who are working day after day, evening after evening, year after year, trying to stay positive, where now it's become second nature. Even if someone's negative towards them, they're like, it's okay, I know how to deal with this. It's just second nature. When things go from discipline to being a habit, habits require less energy. Now, our bodies are designed to conserve energy. This is why we love sugar. This is why we love all the junk food. This is why the body loves to be lazy, to lounge, to chill, to relax. Those beautiful words that even meditation is like, you should just relax, It's all geared towards relaxing. Now, relaxing can only be done And it only works when your brain is all geared up for, I want to do nothing else but relax. Now, if you're going to do nothing else but relax, when you have to do something, is your brain going to be okay for it? Or is it going to be, oh, I don't want to do that? You can sit on the couch or you can get up and go run. I don't want to run. I can just sit on the couch. This is awesome. I love the couch. The couch loves me. In fact, it even has my fingerprint and my butt print on it. You know, there's so many reasons for it to hold you back. So the whole concept is, what I'm trying to teach you here now is, I'm trying to show you the science between discipline and habit. It takes a little bit of effort to make that discipline happen, and then turn that into an habit. Now, researchers at the University College of London have said that it takes 66 days of discipline to turn an activity or an idea into a habit. So, if you're planning that whatever I do, if I just put my really, really hard mind to it, it's just going to happen for me? No. You need to put physical efforts into making it into a habit. 66 days, according to research, is what it takes for a habit to start developing. Okay? So, let's do some recaps. Discipline requires a lot of energy. Habits require a lot less energy. Okay? If it requires a lot less energy, your body's okay to do it. Your body's like, yeah, I can do that. It's fine. I know it doesn't require much energy from me. I'm lazy. It's fine. I'll do it. So, you want to be a good trader, whether you're trading commodities or the foreign exchange market or stocks or anything, you need to develop good habits. Okay, so let's get in deeper now. Let's go in deeper. Okay, you have to choose your habit, good or bad, because habits can form in either side of the line. Okay, one side of the line you have good habits, one side of the line you have bad habits. Okay, how you live your life, what kind of habits you develop, is actually a choice. No one's born with bad habits. No one's born with good habits. No one's born with, I have no discipline. No military man loves to wake up at 4 initially. 4 o'clock in the morning. Who likes to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Nobody. But then after some training, they don't see anything else but waking up at 4. They start seeing the positive side of waking up at 4. But that requires some discipline initially. It's that initial phase of, can I break that barrier? Can I really overcome that first phase? Okay? So the objective for you is keep the discipline going, keep pushing until a habit forms. Once a habit forms, what you're going to do is you're going to start developing new disciplines, because now it's going to be like a drug. Have you heard of the infinity loop? Okay, everyone knows what an infinity looks like, right? It's like the little sideways 8. An infinity loop basically is, first you get started. Okay, you do whatever it takes to get started. Now that's the hardest part for most people, is taking the first step. Okay, most people don't even take the first step because they're so busy thinking about the end result. They're like, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. Hence, they don't even take the first step. Okay, you're not that type. Okay, the fact that you're here, I can already tell you are not that type. You have taken the first step to start. Now that you started, you're going to start putting the efforts. Once you put in the efforts, you start getting the results. Once you start getting the results, you start building confidence. Once you start building confidence, you're ready for a new discipline. And that's how the loop keeps going. Okay, have you ever noticed the sentence, what most people say? Oh my God, the rich are getting richer, the poor is getting poorer. The infinity loop of life knows no boundaries between good and bad. It does not know what is good, what is bad. It just knows how to work. So if you're using the infinity loop to yourself, and when the saying goes, the rich are getting richer, they're not trying to sabotage the poor people. They're actually thinking of how to do better. But it's not just how to do better. They just initially start the engine, and then they just can't stop themselves. It just keeps going and going and going. It's a self-powering machine. It's like a snowball effect. They just can't stop. It's just so much coming in. Now, same goes unfortunately, for different types of classes, which is the lower end classes. Now, whatever the conditions may be, once you get into the wrong loop of saying, I can't do this, this won't work for me. Once you say that, what's going to happen is someone out there is going to agree with you. Somebody out there is going to agree with you because people are nice people. So if you say, oh, I can't do that, I have no capacity to do that, sooner or later you're going to meet someone that says, oh man, you're right. I don't know why people do this. You shouldn't do that. You'll get an agreement from someone out there. Now that is going to start your loop into the other way. Once you get an agreement, you're going to start dwelling into this mindset. Once you start dwelling into this mindset, you never take action. Once you never take action, you start bringing in more negative habits. Evil cycle, isn't it? The loop does not know positive or negative. The loop only knows how to work. So now that you know how a loop exists, how to activate the snowball effect, how to activate the infinity loop, what would you choose? Positive habits? Negative habits? What would you do knowing that it takes 66 days to build discipline? So I want you to do one thing. Get a piece of paper and a pen. Okay? I'm going to attach a file to this course where you can download it and you can fill it up there if you want, and you can print that out and fill that up, or use a separate sheet of paper. And I want you to write down just one habit. Okay, you're gonna have hundreds of habits that you want to change when it comes to trading, right? You want to change your habit that says, I need to stop trading aggressively. You might have a habit that says, I need to start developing being more patient with my trades. You might have something that says, I wish I can read the markets a lot better, and I need to develop a habit of doing that. Some of it might be, I wish I can just spend enough time on my charts so I can get better at it. You might have 100 habits out there. I want you to take a moment and think, what is that one habit, just one habit that you need today, that you need right now in your life? You write that habit down, and you're going to write down, what am I going to do to create the discipline for this? Okay? Now, one big mistake when people do when it comes to discipline is they alter their lifestyle. If you alter your lifestyle, your body is going to say, screw that, I'm not doing it. Do not alter your lifestyle. If your lifestyle is get up in the morning, grab a cigarette, chill a little bit, watch cartoons, and then you sit down to work, so be it. But in that process, squeeze in the discipline somewhere. But do not say, I'm going to cut off this thing, I'm going to cut off that thing. If I only cut off this thing, if you go towards cutting stuff off, your brain is going to act negative. Your brain is going to be like, you're really going to cut into my leisure time? I'll get back right at you. Your brain is smart. In fact, he controls how you run, right? He controls how your body works. He controls how you live your life. Play with the brain. Play with the brain. Understand how he works so you can be a step further. Exactly what I try to teach you guys about the market. Understand the habits of how people trade, and you're going to be one step ahead. So, learn about your brain, and that's what this whole course is about. We're going to learn how your brain works with habits and stuff like that, and you can develop self-motivation. Okay? So let's go in deeper. When you write down that one thing that requires discipline, you're going to embed that into your lifestyle. What time you do it, how you deal with it, is going to be totally up to you. Okay? If you need our assistance to check up on you, let us know. Let us know. We can help you with that. Yeah, type it in the comments below. And in fact, if you really want to take this seriously, write down your habit below that you want to develop below into the comments, and have people agree with you, and we will agree with you, and we'll check back with you regularly. Okay? Create accountability for yourself and saying, this is what I'm going to do, and that's that. Okay? Now, with these habits and how you develop your habits and how you choose your habits, one thing for certain is that bad things that can stop you are usually bad habits. Okay? Here's why. Now, let's start with one thing. What's a bad habit? Okay? And why is it there, and how can it stop me from developing good habits? Okay? Good and bad, remember, it doesn't know anything. There's no such thing as good and bad. Good and bad is defined by you. It's like the universal law. There is no such thing as good and bad. What you see good is good. What you see bad is bad. What I see good might not be good for somebody else. What someone else sees bad, I might not even consider that bad. It's an opinion. Okay? Good and bad is developed by you. And if it's developed by you, develop it well. Don't mess with it. If you have the power, use it. Don't let it use you. Does that make sense? Okay, so what we're gonna go into is, what is bad habits? Let's understand bad habits. First thing, bad habits, things that stop you from doing what you want to do. The number one thing is you don't know why you're doing it. Now, let's say you bought this course, right? You bought this course, you bought my other courses, and you're like, I want to become a trader. Okay, you've answered one question, I want to become a trader. But have you answered why this is important for you? Why inside your true gut, it's like, why is it absolutely necessary for me to be a trader? Why do I need to make money from trading? What is it that I really want? If that why is not there, if that why you do not have an emotional connection with, if that why you don't remind yourself every morning, then your discipline is going to fail. The why must be there. So that's number one. You have to know your why. Anything that you do, even if it's outside trading, know your why. The next thing, overcommitment. You're starting to build a discipline habit. Suddenly you bring in 50 things you're going to have to change and alter in your life and add into your lifestyle. Overcommitment. You're going to fail. That's not going to happen. Take it one step at a time, inch by inch. Inch by inch. It's as if you're sneaking up on your brain and your brain has no idea what's happening. Just drag it in there little piece by piece. If you bring in so many changes, your brain's going to be like, that's not me, man. That's not me. Get it out of my life. Learn to play with your brain. Learn to play with your brain. And final stage is burnout. Okay? If you do certain things, if you don't know your why, you're overcommitted. And let's say you do somehow know your why and you're overcommitted, a little bit of your why, not so much, and then a lot of overcommitment. You've added like 30 different things you need to do in your day to get your discipline running. What's going to happen is you're going to burn out. And what's a burnout? Now, have you seen people who work 8-hour days and they're good? And then you can see people who work 8-hour days and they're like the worst people on the planet. Like, you don't want to talk to them. They're so like draining of energy. They'll talk to you like, I had such a long day. I can't believe I did this. My boss did that. Like, they're just draining and dripping of like this goring, life-sucking energy. Like, so, but what's the difference between the guy who also worked 8 hours, but he's full of life? The person who's full of life knows his why. The person who's full of life does not overcommit, so there's nothing to burn out about. You see the difference there? Same 8-hour shifts. The difference is the one guy can go through it smoother and the other guy is burning his brains out. Okay? I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you one simple question. Just imagine what you're doing in your current life. Imagine all the responsibilities and habits and stuff that you have to do. Taking your child or your loved ones out to school, or dropping them off at college, or whatever it may be. Or, picking up your spouse because she doesn't have a car or he doesn't have a car. Doing those little things and where you're like, I got so much to do. My life is so busy. I want you to ask yourself one question. There are people out there who run thousands of companies, hundreds of companies with thousands of employees in each company. There are people who handle entire nations. How much do you think they complain? How much do you think life is stopping them? What do you think their habits are? Do you think they're constantly disciplined all their lives? Or do you think they're in that loop? where they just can't stop. They can't get enough of it. They want more. So, at what stage in your life are you? I want you to make a little timeline. And I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine your future. Okay? Let's go in 10 years from the line. Keep your eyes closed. We're going 10 years further into your life. And we're now working with a new person. This person has healthier habits. He eats well. He or she eats well. He lives well. Okay? That individual is ready to rock and roll every single morning. There's a purpose to his or her life. This person has solid habits where anyone else that looks at him is like, oh man, this person must have a lot of discipline. But you know you've gone through that phase. You're dealing with habits. Now, in this moment, you're starting to see yourself as a trader. Okay? Because that's what we're trying to build here. We're building traders. Now, as you're thinking of yourself that I'm a trader, I'm waking up every morning and I'm doing my morning rituals. Now, I'm going to discuss morning rituals very soon. But you're doing your morning rituals and you're like, my day is starting. I might have a 10-hour day ahead of me. I might. I don't know. But if I do have a 10-hour day ahead of me, how am I going to handle it? Am I going to be sick and tired of it? Am I going to complain along the way? Or is it me just thinking about it right now? Am I trying to prepare myself to be like, that's okay. What else you got? I'll deal with that too. How much mental power are you going to bring into the game every step of the day? Okay? Now, imagine how that life is going to be different from your current life. If you change one habit, that's going to bring you into another one. And the more positive habits that you do, it's like a drug. If you're building positive habits, you're stress-free, you're healthier, and you want to do more. Isn't it weird? When I say you want to do more, you're probably thinking, do more? Isn't that more work? No, it's not work because now it's play. That's the difference. You see a person working 12-hour days and you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Why isn't he on the beach? He's got so much money and life and zest. What's going on with him? He's in love with life. He's just running on power. Your pure mental power. So, to develop strong motivations, you need the right habits. Habits are extremely powerful. Okay? Let's go through a quick recap. 66 days of discipline builds a habit. Habits that you're trying to build, don't change your lifestyle. Take the discipline and plug it into your lifestyle. Don't overcommit. Okay? Frequency is key. You want to do this as regularly as possible. Not once a week. You have to do this once or twice a day. The sooner you do it, the sooner your brain realizes this is what I need to do regularly. Once a week is very difficult. Start with twice a day or once a day at the very least. Okay? Think of all the habits you can possibly do. Write them down. All your habits, write them down that you want. And circle the one that you need right now. And we're going to fix that completely. And as you get into the routine of fixing that habit, and now it's becoming so natural, you're going to build it up. Okay? One last thing before we go. In the comments below, I want you to tell me what is one positive habit that you have, what you think other people might not have, or other people are struggling with. What are you doing different? I want you to reflect on that and tell me in the comments below, what are you doing different in your life where it's a habit? You do it so naturally where other people are like, how can you do that? And I want you to tell me what you did to get to that level. And how long did it take? How does it feel now? Does it require a lot of energy or not? Okay. Next week, we're going to be going over routines. Now, habits take time to develop, right? 66 days. That means you need to be disciplined every single day for 66 days. How do we do that? I'm going to show you next week. I'm going to go into what you need to do with your morning rituals, exactly what you need to do.